Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang namassami. Good evening and welcome to all the people here and all the people who are joining online. And we have again gathered for a Sunday Dhamma program. This program we are running regularly. So it's a wonderful opportunity for people to come and participate and to learn something about their lives, about their day-to-day, how to lead a happy and peaceful life, how to improve your mind, how to come out of your either miseries or suffering or dissatisfaction, how to walk towards happiness. So this is a wonderful opportunity for all the people. And so every time we tell to come and participate, because sometimes we don't understand the value of the things that when we have them, but then if we don't have it, then we value it more. So you have it here in the city of Hyderabad. You have this vihara, the monks who are practicing sincerely. You have the monks who are teaching the meditation, delivering the discourse, teaching the people right way of living. So it's a wonderful opportunity for in fact, this is the only living monastery in the whole of this city. So it's a opportunity for people to come and practice and improve your mind, improve your life. So today we are going to discuss about certain important, what we call the thoughts of a great person. So this was a discourse delivered by Lord Buddha to Venerable Anuruddha, one of his great disciples. So we all have thoughts. We all think in one way or the other. Thinking is very part of our life. We all are thinking. Every day we are thinking this way or that way. But does our thoughts lead to anything great, or does it really lead to nothing great? It's just we think and we waste our time. Or is it the case that we think and the quality of our thoughts are so good, so wonderful, that our quality of our life increases? Qualitatively, we are going upward. We are going towards liberation. We are going towards Nibbana. We are going towards our own purification. Is it the kind of thoughts we think, or is it just the thoughts we think and they just make our mind? Like, for example, when you just whole day long, you're busy doing this, doing that, thinking this, thinking that. And then at the end of the day, when you evening time, when you go back home or sit down, and then you see your body is tired. But not just the body is tired, the mind itself is so tired. It doesn't have like enough peacefulness, enough calmness, enough lightness. It is burdened with our own thoughts. If you observe mindfully, when you keep yourself busy, too much busy in too many things, then you can see this. So here is these thoughts, these 8 types of thoughts, which the Lord Buddha has enumerated. This is the kind of thought that uplifts our mind, that uplifts our mind. Either the thoughts are uplifting, or they are leading to lightness or wisdom or brightness of our mind, or the thoughts that making our mind dull or heavier or full of confusions, full of doubts, full of negativities, so to speak. So the eight kind of thoughts Lord Buddha has enumerated. The first one, especially not just these thoughts, what we call Mahapurisa Vitaka, thoughts of a great person. Not, he didn't say thoughts of an ordinary person. So these thoughts are not something you can expect from an ordinary person. They would not think like this. In fact, it is very unlikely that they would think on these lines, as Lord Buddha has said. It's very unlikely. That's why he said, thoughts of a great person, Mahapurisa, great person. Thoughts of an extraordinary person, not the thoughts of an ordinary person. So it's up to you whether you want yourself to be an ordinary person or an extraordinary person. Other people cannot make you extraordinary. And if you do not make the effort, then you are ordinary, simple. But then you can make yourself extraordinary if you develop your mind correctly. So these thoughts will go one by one. The first one, Lord Buddha says, especially these thoughts are for those. So as a brief background, the teachings Lord Buddha gave, what we call the Dhamma. Dhamma means what? The meaning of the word Dhamma, which we refer to the teachings of the Lord Buddha, is not some kind of it's not like a Buddhist philosophy. When we refer to the Dhamma, Lord Buddha said, Dhamma is the law of nature, how things are, how things really are. For example, if everything works in a certain way. For example, if you have water, you reduce the temperature of the water. You reduce up to, say, 0 degree Celsius, and then it becomes the ice. Then you increase the temperature at certain level, it starts evaporating, boiling and evaporating at a higher temperature. So that's the nature, that's the Dhamma of the liquid, gas, heat, and temperature. So that's the essential characteristic of everything. Dhamma is the essential nature of how things are, how our life is. What is our life? This body and the mind. This is our life. We have this body, we have this mind. Whatever we do using this body and thinking with our minds. So how do we think? Do we think in the right way? How do we speak? Do we speak in the right way? How do we act with our body? Do we speak in the right, do actions with the body in the right way? That's what leads to happiness, or that's what leads to suffering. That's all. Through our body, speech, and mind, whatever things we do or think or speak, that's what leading to our happiness or to our suffering. So this is also a Dhamma. So the Dhamma is the nature of the ultimate nature of things. Solid as anything solid, if the temperature increases, then it becomes ultimately liquid in a higher temperature. If the temperature decreases, liquid becomes solid. So like this. Similarly, the Dhamma is the way things are, the way the nature, the everything is, how this body is, how this mind is, what the suffering is, and what the way out of suffering is. So that's the background, that's the Dhamma. So when we say the Dhamma, Lord Buddha taught the Dhamma, Lord Buddha taught how things really are. He He wasn't giving a Buddhist philosophy. He wasn't. He said Dhamma existed before me. And Dhamma, even there were many Buddhas before him, and there will be many Buddhas after him. But the Dhamma is just the way things are. So when someone understands the Dhamma perfectly, completely, and fully purifies the mind by this wisdom, then that person is called the Buddha. Then he understands how everything works. And then he conducts himself according to how the things really are, not according to our perceptions or ideas or concepts or such things. Our mind always is guided by our own perceptions, our own intellect sometimes. For example, our very intellect itself, the way we intellectualize things, the way we perceive things, sometimes a hindrance for our wisdom. We try to intellectualize things. Either we think we know this. Yeah, I know. But we really don't know, because intellect is not wisdom. Intellect is not wisdom. So intellect is just basic grasping of a certain phenomena. For example, a lot of the people, they have read about the nature of, they have read about physics. And the physics tells us all material phenomena made by this atoms and subatomic particles, and then they tend to change all the time, and then depending on the certain conditions, they become solid or liquid or gas, and then because of these atoms and subatomic particles, they work in a certain way, they have certain level of energy, depending on the increase, decrease, it all happens like this. So this is one way of, this is theoretical knowledge, intellectual knowledge. Okay, things change in a certain way. And that's an intellectual or a theoretical knowledge. But that's not really wisdom. Why? Because that's not, we know, okay, everything changes, all material phenomena. This body is also material phenomena, just like anything else. Just like a piece of rock, this body is also made of solid things. There are solid elements, there are liquid things here, there's gaseous substance here, and there is heat here. So when we die, what happens? When we die, the person stops breathing. The air, the gas or the air element, that goes out first when the person dies. And then body loses the temperature. The heat goes out. And then it starts decomposing. Then the liquids start oozing of various parts of the body. And then liquid goes out. Then the skeleton remains, more solid element. Then afterwards, that also becomes like a dust. So that's all. This body is just these four elements: solid, liquid, gas, and heat. But by reading the physics books, we have intellectual knowledge. This is like this. But then we don't really know how this body works unless we have the wisdom. And that wisdom comes from our own meditation. Then we can clearly see how the change takes place. That's what the meditation is all about. It tells us how the body actually changes. Then we have no confusion. When we feel hot or cold, we don't think I am feeling hot or I am feeling cold. We know this is just this change of temperature, solid to liquid, liquid to solid, just like this. So the Dhamma is knowing things as it really is. So Lord Buddha says, if you really want to attain to this level of wisdom, then you need to have the right kind of thoughts. If you really wish to be that much wise up to the level of enlightenment. That much wise means wise up to the level of your enlightenment, not a little bit of wisdom here and there. So basically, these 8 types of thoughts, what I'm going to tell, is for those who truly seek their enlightenment. Simple, in simple language, for those who truly seek their enlightenment, liberation. But for all others, this may seem heavy or a big task or something like this. But people who are true seekers of liberation, for them, this is the right thought. These are the right thoughts. First is, Lord Buddha says, if you really wish to attain to this level, then you must have less wishes, not too many wishes. All the time you are thinking, I want this, I want this, I want this one. From morning time you get up till the time you go to bed, you think, I want this, I want that. Then this you will never attain. You will never be successful in the spiritual life. And then those who are contented, whatever you have to have some level of contentment. For example, people work. They study, and then they take a job or start a business or something, and they work for money, and that's perfectly fine. That if you work for money, and if you want to expand, or if you want to get a better job, for example, tomorrow, or if you want to expand your business, and that's also fine. But then we should also have some level of contentment. As of now, for example, you work in a company and you get certain amount of salary. You want to do better than this. That's fine. So what do? You do some professional courses, or you enhance your skills so that you are tomorrow eligible for a better paying job. You do that. But then when you are doing this, if you become discontented, oh, this job is too bad, oh, I don't like this, oh, this is not good, you know, then that's where the problem starts. Then you are not really focusing on something positive. Your mind goes back to the negative tendencies. So this contentment, you have to have some level of contentment in a daily life. But then in the spiritual life, it is far more important. It is far more important. So these are ultimately what I just told earlier. These are things who truly seek to practice spirituality to the highest liberation for them. For all others, it may seem like a far cry. And then contentment. You must have contentment, because only when your mind is contented, then it is peaceful. There's a great value in contentment, because then our mind, then we have less or we have more, we feel we are wealthy, we are happy, we are peaceful, because we don't seek too many things. That's a very important spiritual quality. And then only for those who are reclusive, not fond of gathering. All the time you love company. I need too many friends and too many relatives and too many associations and too many programs, and go here and go there and do this and do that. Then Lord Buddha says spiritual life is not for you. It is not for you. If you are fond of too much of social gathering, you do your things, but spiritual life, liberation is not for you. Then for those who put forth the effort is not just physical effort. Effort is not just physical effort. It's also a lot of mental effort. For example, when we sit in meditation, and then sometimes our body is okay. We can sit for a little longer, but the mind is not so okay. Mind says, oh no, I need to get up, I need to get out of it. You see? So there's a lot of mental effort. In fact, the mental effort is much more than the bodily effort. If the mind is ready to make the effort, mind is willing to make the effort, then the body will make the effort. So it's more about mental effort, mental vigor, mental energy, and not those who are lazy or who don't want to make that effort. Then people who are mindful, this liberation, spiritual liberation, is for those who are mindful. So whatever you do, we do mindfully, speaking and talking and doing things or whatever it is, doing mindfully, doing with awareness. Awareness of the body, awareness of the feelings, awareness of the thoughts, awareness of various mental aspects. So you're mindful. And if you are not mindful, if you are doing with just like a machine, but not with awareness, then this is not for you. Then this for ones who are practicing meditation sincerely, who have a dedication for meditation. So their mind is concentrated, peaceful, one-pointed. But if our mind is scattered all the time, our mind is generally scattered all the time, especially people who are not serious practitioners of meditation. They can do a lot of day-to-day things, but their mind is not so one-pointed or sharp. So Lord Buddha is saying, if you are concentrated, one with a concentrated mind, your mind has attained to concentration, meditative concentration. You are practicing sincerely, then you can attain. If your mind is always scattered here and there, then this liberation is not for you. Then this Dhamma is for those who endowed with discernment, one who has a bit of wisdom. Not, I tell you this, the fact is, people, each and every person, it is impossible, each and every person as of now in the present situation or any situation, for example, whether in Lord Buddha's time or in now or future times, it is impossible that each and every person will seek spiritual liberation. It's not possible. It's never going to happen. Why? Simple. Because only a few people who truly have little more wisdom than the common people, little more wisdom, they can recognize the nature of the world. For example, what is the nature of the world? The nature of the world is to change all the time. When it changes, it is unsatisfactory. Good things you get, it changes after today or tomorrow. If that is not the case, you see it's kind of funny, When you have seen anyone getting married, you must have seen, no? In your life. When the day of getting married or before that, people make such elaborate, such ostentatious, pompous display of wealth and spend a lot of money and make a big celebration out of it. And then after some time, the husband and wife and all the family and the people, they take pictures with a lot of happy poses and all that thing. And then after a few days or a few months, they fight like they're sworn enemies. So it's kind of foolish to think about it. Okay, these people, then you think, when people fight like this, then you think, okay, all these people were get together and then making happy poses and spending so much of money. Now they're blaming each other. This family blaming the other family, this family blaming other family, husband blaming wife blaming husband, the in-laws blaming the son-in-law or the daughter-in-law, all kinds of things. And sometimes it goes to the extent of they try to kill each other. Oh my goodness. So, or they end up getting a divorce after. Sometimes I have heard of some people, some people who are very, very wealthy and in very good big social positions and all such things, and then they ended up getting divorced after 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years after their marriage, and then they spent such huge amounts of money on their marriage. So what does it mean? What does it signify? That this so-called big festival or celebration is not the reality of life. It's just trying to hide something. hide the reality of life. But the reality of life is this is not going to be like this. So wisdom is what makes us immune to suffering. It's the wisdom. What makes us, if you people ask, what makes you immune to suffering? Why do you not suffer? Why do you not suffer? It is because of the wisdom. If we know things correctly, if we know, okay, today this big thing is there, but tomorrow it might be bad thing, tomorrow it might lead to something really really bad, really very bitter. Then we know, okay, we don't need to be so much engaged in this. Let's be moderate about it. So wisdom is what makes us understand the world correctly, and wisdom is not for all. Wisdom is not for all. People are very happy being stupid. Majority of the people are being stupid in their own ways. They think they know, but they do not know. And then they think what I know is the only truth. And then they are being stupid, just simple stupid. So wisdom, that's why Lord Buddha says, if you really wish to seek the liberation, then you must develop the wisdom, right understanding about how the life works. Life is basically inherently imperfect and unsatisfactory because it keeps on changing. Simple. It keeps on changing. If it is fixed, like you buy a new car, nice, big, shiny car that you buy, and you drive it around. Today or tomorrow, there are going to be some scratches, or after some time, some parts will break down. The engine, some malfunction will be there, and you have to take it to the service center again and again. And then that also, after some years, it will not run smoothly. All kinds of problems will crop up because that's the way it is. The car is supposed to be like that. There's nothing unusual about it, right? Was the car supposed to be nice and shiny all the time after 10 years, 20 years? Was it? It wasn't. It's simple. Similarly, our life is not going to be like this. It keeps on changing. That's so if we are a little wise person, then we can appreciate something better. So liberation is only for those who can appreciate the wisdom, who can know, okay, this is not really what it looks. When the son or daughter is born, people, they're so happy. People, when their son or daughter, children are born, parents are so happy. After 15 or 20 years, those same parents and children, they fight with each other like anything. Why? Why is it? Have you thought like this? 20 years before, these people were saying, I'm so happy that I have a son or a daughter. Now they are fighting with that same son or daughter like enemies. Why is it? It's the way it is. Just simple impermanence. Just simple impermanence. It has to change, and it has changed. Simple. Parents they're supposed to be same all the time. No, their mind will change. Children supposed to be same all the time. No, their mind also will change. So there will be a conflict today or tomorrow. It's bound to be. It's never going to be perfect. That's the samsara. But then do we understand it correctly? That's why Lord Buddha says, if you wish to seek liberation, if you really wish to seek liberation, develop wisdom, develop the understanding about the true nature of samsara. And that's the seventh one. And then the eighth one is this liberation is for those who allow their mind not to be involved like a mental proliferation. Mental proliferation is, what? Like you when you sit down, your friends or your relatives or people you sit down and talk. Then you start with a particular topic, Start with anything. Start with politics, start with sports, start with economy, start with anything. And then you go on to something else and go into something else. And your mind goes on churning out things one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. It happens to people, a lot of people, most of the people. But what does it really mean? Have you ever thought like this? Why is this constant churning out of this particular topic, that particular topic, this discussion leading to another, leading to another? Why is it? Because our are kind of minds are kind of mind is happy, or there's a kind of delight, there's a kind of liking about this, being involved here, being involved there, thinking about this, thinking about that. So our mind is kind of it takes delight, takes happiness to think like this, to think endlessly, one thing to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other, endlessly. That's what the mind does. So Lord Buddha is saying, if you allow your mind to be like this, then forget about your liberation. Forget about it. Don't think about it. It's never going to happen. Because then your mind will never gain samadhi. Your mind will never gain mindfulness. Your mind will never gain wisdom. It'll just keep on jumping. It's like the monkey that goes from this branch to this, to this, to this, to this, to this. Endlessly, it keeps on jumping. Then it becomes tired, sit down for something, then it keeps on jumping, So that's how the mind of the people who are engaged in mental proliferation. So Lord Buddha says, if you really wish to seek liberation, forget about this. Don't allow your mind to be like this. Instead, allow your mind not to engage. If people are jumping from topic to topic to topic endlessly, disengage yourself. Take a step back, let them be. I am not the one who's bothered about these things. I'm the one who bothered about my own liberation. So these are all things. Quickly, I will recapitulate. One with less desires, not too many desires. One who lives contently, not with a lot of discontent. One who is not involved with too many people, stays alone, mind stays alone, learns to stays by himself, seclusion, and one who can put forth, one who's not lazy, one who's mindful, not unmindful, one who practices meditation, not one who is neglecting meditation, one with wisdom, not one with ignorance. And the last one is one who allows the mind to be not involved, doesn't allow the mind not to be involved in the affairs of the world too much, tries to disengage, one who doesn't, one not for those who allows their mind to be engaged in too many things. So these 8 things. So Lord Buddha says, if you really wish to, if you are a true seeker of liberation, then you must practice these things. You must develop this type of thoughts. Then you will do. And if you are the one who can develop this type of thoughts, then your mind will gain the wisdom, gain the meditative concentration, gain deeper knowledge, deeper understanding, and finally will gain liberation. So these 8 types of thoughts about very, very briefly, because lack of time, because each particular point requires a lot of explanation, but unfortunately our time is very limited. So anyways, now at least you have something to reflect upon. If you are a true seeker of spirituality or not, or just beating around the bush. So we'll conclude here with this thoughts, 8 types of thoughts. And if you have any questions, then you can ask. If anyone has any questions, they can ask, or else we can conclude. We'll conclude with the chanting of metta, loving kindness for all living beings. Sukhi bhave ne dokho ahang nichang ahang viha hita cha me sukhi hanto majjata ta chaverino imani gamma ketam hi satta hantu sukhi sada tato parancharajesu Chakavale Sujantano Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. And we will also like to announce that 16th of October, that is also Sunday, 2 weeks from now, we will be observing the Katina Chivaradhana, the robe offering, and other monastic requisite or offering ceremony on Sunday morning, maybe around 10:30, 11 o'clock. So stay tuned on our YouTube and our, if you are, uh, if you are connected to us through WhatsApp, or you can take the numbers of our manager and get him connected through him. So we'll be celebrating. So you can, all of you can attend on 16th. Anyways, we'll have the Sunday regular programs next Sunday as usual on 6 o'clock. But on next to next Sunday, we'll have this special program in the morning. So all of you with your family and friends can attend.